Hey there, have you ever really stopped to think about how something gets made? I mean, take a hand-built, one-of-a-kind race car versus, your everyday family car. They're both cars, right? But how they come into being are worlds apart. Well, it turns out that the how is often just as important as the what. So let's dive in and see how these two very different vehicles come to life. Okay, so on one side, you've got a Formula One car. This thing is a total one-off. Every single part is custom-built, totally unique, and designed for one thing and one thing only: insane performance. Cost? Yeah, that's not really the main concern. But then, on the other side, you have the mass-market sedan. Millions of these are churned out, they're super standardized, and the entire process is engineered to keep costs as low as humanly possible. See what I mean? Two cars, but two completely different universes of production. So that's the big question, right? Why the huge difference? Well, the answer gets to the heart of how literally everything is made, from a skyscraper to a can of soda. It all comes down to understanding the fundamental types of production processes out there. And to really get it, we need to meet what you could call the 5 production personalities. These are basically the 5 core ways companies get stuff done. Think of them as the basic building blocks for making anything, and each one has its own very distinct character. First up is the project. This is the ultimate one-off. It's a complex dance of unique steps that have to be coordinated just right to create a single, unique thing. And yep, you guessed it, that Formula One car fits perfectly here. But so does building a massive dam or even launching a huge advertising campaign. It's all about managing a complex, one-time-only sequence of events. Next, we've got the job shop. Now, this is where you get a ton of variety, but in really small amounts. Think of a custom furniture maker or your local auto repair shop. Every car that comes in is a little different, right? Each job follows its own unique path. Flexibility is absolutely the name of the game here. And get this, some estimate that over 75% of all production in the US happens in these kinds of small volumes. Okay, moving up in volume, we hit the batch process. Here, you're not just making one thing. You're making a whole group, or a batch, of identical items at once. Imagine a bakery making a batch of 100 croissants before they switch over to making baguettes, or a book printer running off 1,000 copies of a new novel. It's way more standardized than a job shop, but we're still not talking full-on mass production just yet. And now we get to what most of us think of when we hear the word factory, the line flow, the classic assembly line. This is the kingdom of high-volume, standardized products. Your family sedan was born on one of these. So were calculators and even fast food burgers. Every single item moves from one station to the next in a perfectly set sequence. It's all about efficiency, specialization, and speed. And at the absolute far end of the scale is the continuous process. This is production on a scale that's almost hard to imagine. It's non-stop. The product itself literally flows. We're talking about things like an oil refinery, a steel mill, or a plant making huge rolls of paper. These places are incredibly automated, cost a fortune to build, and they run 24/7, just pumping out massive volumes of basic commodities. Okay, so we've met our 5 personalities: project, job shop, batch, line flow, and continuous. But here's the thing. The real magic isn't just knowing the list. The big aha moment comes when you realize these aren't just 5 separate boxes. That's right. Instead of thinking of them as totally separate categories, you have to see them as points on a single spectrum. And understanding this one idea, that they're all connected on a spectrum, is the key to unlocking the whole strategy behind production. And this spectrum lays it all out beautifully. See? On the far left, you have totally unique projects. Then, as you start moving to the right, variety goes down and volume goes up. You move through job shops, then into batch processes, until you hit the high-volume, super standardized world of line flows, and finally, the mind-boggling scale of continuous processes. Now let's look at why your spot on this spectrum changes literally everything about your business. So why does this matter so much? Because where a company chooses to live on this spectrum defines its entire personality. It changes everything, from the kind of people you hire, to how your managers spend their day, to how you compete. So let's start with the people. Over on the left side of the spectrum, the projects and job shops, you need highly skilled craftspeople. Think artisans. They need a ton of freedom and discretion to do their work. But slide all the way over to the right side, to the assembly lines, and the work is broken down into simple, repetitive tasks that require way less individual skill. Even how people get paid changes, from maybe a piece rate on the left to a standard hourly wage on the right. Your relationship with suppliers and inventory completely flips too. A job shop might have informal deals with tons of different suppliers, and since everything is made to order, they have almost no finished products just sitting around. A continuous process, though, they have deep, formal, long-term contracts with a few key suppliers and produce massive stockpiles of goods, ready to meet constant demand. And what about the managers? What's their day like? Well, on the left, a manager's life is, frankly, organized chaos. It's all about day-to-day scheduling, juggling dozens of complex jobs, and putting out fires. But on the right, the daily flow is pretty much set. So management's focus shifts entirely to the long-term stuff. How much can we produce next year? What does the sales forecast look like? They're making huge strategic bets. So at the end of the day, here's what it all means. Choosing your position on this process spectrum isn't just an operational detail. It is one of the most important strategic decisions a company can make. It defines what you're great at, what you're not so great at, and exactly how you're going to compete and win. This quote from the source material just nails it. It says, a process is well chosen when it perfectly matches the company's strategy, what the market wants, and the world it operates in. In other words, you can't just pick a process out of a hat. A job shop is never going to be a continuous process on price, and an assembly line is never going to beat a project on customization. You have to align your process with your purpose. And that brings us to one last really interesting thought. This framework, this spectrum, has been a rock-solid part of business for decades. But now, we've got things like AI and super flexible robotics coming online. So the big question is, will these new technologies let companies have the best of both worlds? Will you be able to get high customization and high volume at the same time? Is this classic spectrum about to bend? Or maybe, is it going to break entirely? That's the billion-dollar question for the next generation of makers.